Hi Scorpios, how are you? Welcome to your annual reading for 2018. I apologize for these being late. I wanted to get yours out because you guys have had a really tough couple of readings. And I can feel what you guys are going through. So let's hope that this 2018 reading will shed some light for you. I'm starting out with the Oracle card that will represent the overall energy for 2018. Everything will be related back to this. All right, Spirit and Universe, what are the overall messages and advice and guidance that you have for Scorpios for 2018 in life and love? All right. Samikiel, Angel of Vengeance. That kind of falls in line, doesn't it? Okay, let me read this. 1 second while I pull it up. It kind of falls in line with what we've been talking about. Samikiel, when the time comes, we all call its name. It is ever the instinct in our throat that we seek retribution. We choke on it even as we languish in every syllable. But those who call on Samikiel without cause will have harm fall back upon them threefold. It is the way of Samikiel's sword, cutting in both directions. While we will gird our fragile hearts against being hurt, pain will make its attempts on us by any means necessary. It is in our soul to survive at all costs, even if it means violence. Try to resist the urges of your barbed heart. Samikiel knows not forgiveness. That falls right in line with the readings that we've just had. So Scorpios, this is really saying that vengeance comes in time in its own way, and it is not up to us to seek vengeance or to harm others, even though we have maybe be harmed. Let revenge come on its own. And we talked about the best revenge being moving forward to true happiness within ourselves and not through getting even or getting revenge, which I know when you're going through these things, I know revenge seems to be the medicine that we need, but it's not. Revenge comes on its own. We don't have to force it. The best revenge, like I said in the last couple of readings for you, is moving on and being happy. Okay, I'm going to use the Mary L. Tarot deck, a very spiritual, deep deck, to assist in explaining further this energy for the year. Spirit and Universe, what are the high-level energies and messages that you have for Scorpios? High-level messages and energies that you have for Scorpios for 2018. This is a real turning point. This speaks to it. And as you go through healing, it takes time. And it's important to recognize the time frames that I've talked about in the last couple of your readings. And that this takes time. It takes time to heal. Go through those phases of emotional abuse, right? If you're the one of the Scorpios that I'm speaking to, it takes time. Wow. This is already so beautiful. Okay. King of Swords, Queen of Cups, Five of Wands. What is this talking about with respect to everything in your lives that you guys have been going through? First of all, King of Swords. He's the great strategist. He thinks with his mind. He acts with his mind, and he acts in time. He does not react on his emotions. He doesn't act on his emotions. Everything is a strategy. So as we talk about moving on and letting go and healing, part of this message here is to be very strategic and not let emotions flare up when you know they don't need to. It feels very urgent. It feels like we want to get revenge. It feels like we want to show somebody something. But they have to see it on their own. It's not our responsibility to teach them a lesson. And when this is next to the Queen of Cups, it is so enlightening because she moves with grace and love. She does like to get involved. She does like to have answers, and she does like to help and assist with grace and love, though. Those are the key words: with grace and love, with understanding. Not in a vengeful sort of way. She does this because she cares. But again, you can't help anybody if they can't help themselves. It's not up to you. That's where we have this Five of Wands. This is a great internal battle that you're going to be dealing with this year as you go through this healing process. But just keep in mind, it is an internal battle, not an external battle. This is you fighting your own thoughts. You fighting the rage, you fighting the anger, the sadness, the hurt, the lost memories, the memories that are spinning in your mind over and over and over, replaying every touch, every feeling, every sound, every word, every breath. We play those things in our minds over and over and over, and it's that huge wave of happiness and sadness and anger and regret. There's huge waves of that. Just know that's coming, but act from this standpoint for you, okay? Not to teach a lesson, not to do anything. This is an internal battle, not an external battle. That's what this is saying. It is not up to you to teach the lesson. Okay. That started off heavy. I know you're in a heavy place right now, Scorpios. I'm going to keep this here. I'll refer back to it. Now, I normally do, in these annuals, the general portion first. I'm going to do your love portion because I think love is impacting other areas of your life. So let's do the love portion. Spirit and universe. What are the messages and advice and guidance for Scorpios this year in 2018, each quarter, with respect to their love life? What are the messages that Scorpios need to hear for each quarter in 2018 with respect to their love life? What are the messages and advice and guidance that Scorpios need to hear? Okay. I'm going to use two different decks for this. First two quarters with this deck. Second two quarters with the next deck. I'm doing the 9-card spread that you're all familiar with. First quarter. Well, the Three of Swords. Yes, you are definitely hurt. It is impacting other areas of your life. The process now is to work on healing. Healing yourself, not healing the relationship. What this is talking about is, in order for this to end, we have the World card here. In order for this to end for you, spiritually, emotionally, to feel settled, where you can move forward, you've got to focus on the fact that this is nearing an end and figuring out a way to keep your emotions stabilized. And the best way to do that at this point in time, through January and February, is to focus on what you are doing for you. Focus on building for you. This means putting your head down, focusing on work, focusing on building your own stability. Emotionally and materialistically, financially. So try, as you're trying to work through this, as you're trying to, right, be happy and move on and get vengeance without actually getting vengeance. The best revenge is being happy. Focus on you and what you're doing and focusing on work. That will bring this to an end. That will also allow reciprocity moving forward, with or without this person, though. Remember, we know who we're dealing with here. And it will allow new beginnings. So being able to figure out with the Four of Pentacles here reversed, opening up, giving, do not isolate yourself. It's very common to isolate yourself when you're going through these things. Try to not isolate. You're going to be isolating here because you're going to be focusing on just getting down to your daily routine. Because I know when you're going through this, it is so hard to even take a shower and put on a shirt and jeans. It feels equivalent to climbing Mount Everest, as I like to say. And frankly, I'm going to tell you this. I listened to this podcast. Hold on, let me pull it up really quick. There's 2 podcasts I listen to regularly about this. It helped me heal. Mental Health News Radio. She talks a lot about narcissistic abuse, and she talks a lot about dealing with it. And she's kind of coined the phrase, like, putting on a shirt is equivalent in energy to climbing Mount Everest when you're going through this and when you're in the initial stages. So it's hard to get out of bed. It's hard to take a shower. It's hard to brush your teeth. It is hard. So that's what this is saying. Okay, so I listened to that one. If you want to pick that up, it's a really good podcast I listened to. And then I also listened to A Fine Time for Healing. And it's Randy Fine is the spokesperson. She runs the podcast, but it's called A Fine Time for Healing. And she does an amazing job of talking about narcissistic and emotional abuse and manipulation recovery. She has a lot of psychiatrists, a lot of counselors on there, and they go into great detail about how to go through this. So that's why I'm so familiar with this process, having gone through it myself. So that's the name of the game right now in January through February. Getting back to forcing yourself to be on a very strict schedule no matter how bad you feel. Force yourself to go. Once you do that, you're going to start seeing energetically in the universe, things start to shift in your favor. You're going to start feeling this equal give and take, and it's going to make you feel better, and it's going to cause you to start opening up. Now, it doesn't mean that this process is done. It comes and goes in waves. You can be fine for a week and then have 3 days of crying nonstop and you don't know why. I mean, that's part of the process. But you will have these moments where you feel really open and you can feel that this is ended and this is now starting to begin. And you'll start to feel also that you'll have options. Not necessarily options in love. Yes, this is a love reading, but this is you starting to think, okay, maybe I should start dating again. Maybe I should start trying to move on and meet some people, or at least allowing some people to come into my space, because that's very difficult to do during this time. You're not going to feel fully happy and complete and stable. You're, again, with the waves, the Six of Wands reversed, feeling like a failure. It's waves. That's all I can say. You just got to go through it. But the more you can force yourself to be diligent in your schedule and little things, right? You don't have to just wake up at 5 a.m. and run 5 miles every day to make yourself happy, okay? Little things. Stick on a little schedule. And that in and of itself helps rebuild so much self-confidence and esteem when you can just do little things that you tell yourself you're going to do and just wait for the next wave to come and deal with that when it comes, okay? First quarter, wavy, very wavy. But a lot of self-actualization, a lot of healing, but very wavy. A lot of realization that there are options. Okay, it's not doom and gloom, although I know it feels like it. It is, like I said before in one of my other readings for you guys, when you're going through this, it is literally the darkest place in the universe. And unless you're going through it, you can't even begin to understand. Like no one will understand unless they've gone through it. So those podcasts are very important. At least they were for me. First quarter, wavy. Second quarter, Spirit and Universe. What are the messages and advice and guidance that you have for Scorpios during the second quarter of 2018? Messages, advice, and guidance for Scorpios during the second quarter of 2018. And I want to talk to you a little bit. I know I keep going on with these little tangents, but one of the things that I did in terms of forcing yourself to do what you say you're going to do, because you know ultimately that that's the way that you're going to make yourself feel better. It's hard. But in October, this last year, October 2017, it was Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and it's becoming more and more, the awareness is getting out there more, that domestic violence doesn't only have to be physical violence. It can be sexual violence, and it can most definitely be emotional manipulation and abuse. And so for that, I decided that in October, I was going to run 100 miles in the month of October. And my goal was to run 3 miles a day, but 3.3 miles a day. But so it was a little sporadic, but I did it. I ended up running the 100 miles. And it was so beautiful. It was the most difficult thing I've done in years, because it wasn't the fact of just doing the runs. Yeah, that was physically hard and it made me feel good when I did it. But it was more along the lines of when I'm going through these waves of rage and anger and hatred and sadness, forcing myself to get out there and do it was very much a confidence builder. And so things like that. I'm not saying you have to go run 100 miles, but I'm saying that the waves, they come, and you've got to figure out a little plan. Doesn't have to be so drastic like I did, but a little plan to just force yourself to do stuff. Okay? All right, second quarter. And I actually titled it, you can follow the hashtags on Instagram if you look. I titled it the October 100, hashtag October 100. And each run I would go through these thoughts. You think about important turning points in the relationship, or things that hurt, or things that made you feel good, or red flags, mostly red flags you knew you should have picked up on. And so with each post on the October 100, I kind of wrote a little tidbit about, what are the red flags? What are some of the red flags? How does the isolation assist, and how is the isolation detrimental? Okay, second quarter. Another book I read was called Narcissist or Psychopath Free. I would suggest you getting that and listening to that book. It was very enlightening. It was also very healing. But there's waves. Okay. Second quarter, bottom of the deck, 3 of Pentacles reversed. Back to the waves. You're going to feel like you're making progress, and then you're going to feel like you're not making progress. Don't have shame and guilt when you feel like you're not making progress. You are making progress. Understanding this, going through this, listening to podcasts, setting yourself on a schedule. I know it sounds so basic and fundamental, but it is the cure. It is part of the healing process. And the more you can do it, the faster you'll heal. And healing can take years, depending on how severe and how long you've been dealing with this. So you're going to feel like you're making progress, and then you're going to feel like you take 2 steps back. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. You're going to feel like this in the second quarter. Okay, you're going to feel very ready to move forward, but you won't be able to just yet, because this sneaky energy, lying, cheating, stealing energy, it's going to be very prevalent in your mind. Okay, you could be dealing with the air sign, but this doesn't necessarily mean that. But this definitely is emotional, mental control, manipulation. He's very manipulative. So yes, it's ending, but it's the energy, the thoughts, the things that were said, the things that weren't said, the future faking is what it's called. All the red flags that you are now really seeing, those are going to be very prevalent in your mind going into the second quarter. But it is going to offer you great clarity. It's going to offer you great clarity that it is done, it needs to be done, and there shouldn't be any movement forward on it. Any direction towards you needs to be cut off with a no, or a very slow progress from you. Like, you need to only be focusing on you. So there's this kind of weird energy here of you're moving forward, you know it's over, you have clarity because you've gone through this learning process, but it's still very prevalent in your mind. It's still kind of You're like, you feel like you have to move forward, but you also feel like you can't move. You're going to feel a little paralyzed. So, second quarter, the end of the second quarter, okay, going into halfway through the year. No full new beginning yet. However, look at what we have. This is you being really ready, feeling very ready to start meeting people and start opening up those emotions again and allowing the warmth to come in. Because after you go through this, and again, Scorpios, if you're not going through a emotionally or manipulative, controlling, abusive relationship, then this message is not for you. I'm speaking to those. I had so many Scorpios watch my videos. I had so many comments, more comments than I've ever had on a video. And so I know that there's something going on in your energy realm that a lot of you are going through this. So this message is for you. If you do want a private reading, you can click on the link below and we can go into detail about your specific situation. But in general, for those of you that I'm talking to, you will start really feeling at the end of the second quarter like you're getting ready to start opening up again. You're going to feel ready. You're going to feel like you've done enough healing to where you can at least start accepting and allowing and believing in love again. And it takes a long time for you to start trusting your own thoughts. It takes a long time before you can start trusting yourself because you have so much doubt after going through this that it takes time to start really trusting your own thoughts again and saying, hey, I am okay. My thoughts aren't always wrong. My ideas aren't always wrong. I'm not always wrong. I'm not always out of context, right? Sometimes, you know, after going through that, you start, you know, it's like you don't even know who you are. You're in this fog. You're paralyzed in this mental fog. So you're going to start feeling that release. Not fully ready for a new beginning yet, all the way. You're not ready to just like jump into a relationship and find love again, but you are very much contemplating. You very much are getting ready. Beautiful. Third quarter, Spirit and Universe. What are the messages for Scorpios during the third quarter with respect to their love life? Third quarter of 2018. Third quarter of 2018. And once you get to this point, it feels so beautiful. It's scary. There's a lot of social anxiety and depression that comes along with it. So for a while, you can be really afraid to go out and meet people and definitely afraid to trust people, but you're going to start feeling that clear up. Okay, don't forget the waves, right? 8 of Swords. But here's the key with this, and we all know this. This is a self-proclaimed prophecy, right? So she has every ability. She's not bound very tight. She has every ability to take this blindfold off and walk forward and walk out of these thoughts. So that is a choice at some point. Initially, it's not a choice. Initially, you literally are paralyzed from it with mental thoughts. But after a while, it starts to release. The fog starts to go away. And then you can choose to stay here or not, or really force yourself forward. This is kind of a turning point. This third quarter for you, Scorpios, is going to be a huge turning point, especially with these energies ending in the second quarter, or starting to come up in the second quarter, okay? Okay. Now we have more choices. Here they come, okay? You know you have choices. You knew even then. You even know in the first quarter that you have them, but now you're actually starting to think, okay, I really do. Okay, I don't want to have an unhealthy attachment, so I'm going to be very cautious about who I let into my life. I'm going to be very cautious about the offers that are being made to me. This could also mean that offers aren't being made to you in the fashion that you want, and that's okay. But you may not be seeking them out because you might not be ready. But emotionally, you're going to be getting ready. You're going to be done with this, moving forward with this healing process, and your thoughts are going to be clear, and you're going to really be ready for offers of love. You're not going to trust them. The offers of love, you're not going to trust them. But be very cognizant of, are you not trusting it because you've been so hurt, or are you... and you're choosing not to trust in these offers? Be very cognizant of that, because most people are not like what you've just gone through. So it takes a lot. I even had a new relationship and I took it so slow. I mean, that poor guy, I took it so slow. The slowest I've ever taken anything, because I wasn't ready. Like, he was a great person, but I was like, I am not in the mental place for this. And he just, like, he was so persistent, and I just kept shutting him down, or like, a date here like every other week, if he was lucky. Is like, I wouldn't call him back. I wasn't sure I was ready. So I feel like you're going to kind of be in this space, but the love offers are going to be coming. And be careful what you decide not to trust, because there could be an amazing person on the horizon for you that just take it slow and watch how they treat you. Take it slow, watch how they treat you, because it looks like they're going to be very, very emotionally stable. Could be a water sign. It looks like they're going to be very in control of their emotions, and it looks like they're going to be very kind and loving also, Scorpios. Okay. But you're also not out of the woods yet, because you're going to be very afraid that things are going to take a turn for the worse, and your narc, I'm going to put it that way, I'm going to call them your narc, them. Okay, they could be, if there's new love offers on the table, or you're starting to move forward, they could be very not wanting you to do that. So they do what's called flying monkeys, and they start spreading rumors about you, and they get everybody against you. You're this most horrible person in the world. They do that with everybody. Okay, so one, don't take it personally. And two, what do we have here? Best revenge is moving forward. You don't seek it yourself. I'm going to keep coming back to this. You do not seek revenge yourself. It comes to those who deserve it without any human interference. So they could be trying to come back on some level because they can sense you're moving on. Okay, fourth quarter, Spirit and Universe. Messages, advice, and guidance for fourth quarter for Scorpio's love life. Messages, advice, and guidance for the fourth quarter, Scorpio's love life. Madison. Maddie. Oh, she's so loud. I'm sorry. Messages, advice, and guidance for Scorpio's love life in the fourth quarter. So third quarter, very promising. Third quarter, you're going to be able to have a little bit more control over your emotions, and you're also going to be starting to really see the light. There's the Lovers again. There's the Magician again. There's the Sun. There's the Hierophant. There's Temperance. There's the Ace of Cups. Seven of Wands. Be conscious of how your defenses are up. Be very conscientious of why they're up. If they're up for a good reason. All right, remember when I talked about in the third quarter, slow. Go slow, but accept the offers of love. Just move slowly and cautiously through them. And look what we have. Okay, the Lovers. Could be Gemini, but just head or heart decision. So there's going to be somebody that's coming into your life in the third and fourth quarter that is really going to start making you think that there is a really, look at this diagonal. The Lovers, the Sun, the Ace of Cups. Okay, new love, very promising, very exciting. Okay, starting a whole new phase. You're feeling in control. The Hierophant, something that you're both going to want to scream from the rooftops that you found this amazing person, or that your relationship life is stable and solidified and you're feeling really good about it. We have the Judgment card reversed, and then we also have the Nine of Wands reversed. So you're going to be very afraid that you don't have energy to fight again. And I understand that feeling, because it's almost as if you're like, okay, like, I'm going to take this really slow. I'm going to trust you, but I'm also going to watch you very closely, because I don't have any fight left in me. This is you saying, I'm not going to fight for a relationship anymore, because I just spent the last how many years, or the last relationship, I was fighting. I was trying to get validation. I was trying to seek approval. I was trying to get back to the beginning when things were perfect. I was the one trying all this. So this is you saying, no, I don't have that fight in me anymore. Like, if you want to come into my life and be my partner, you've got to really, really prove it. Okay, I'm not even going to seek judgment. I'm just going to do my thing, focus on me, and like this is you saying to them, this new person, right? You're going to really have to. I'm not seeking judgment either way. I'm not going to fight for this. If you want this, you're going to have to really prove to me that you really want it, and you're going to have to be patient because I'm still healing. This is that energy. And then look, all of a sudden, total new beginning, the sun, joy, success, material happiness. This can also mean children, the Hierophant. Temperance, you're going to feel very stable. You're going to be excited about new things. Okay, there could be multiple people coming into your life. This can mean coming in and out, but it could be a temporary relationship that you're not really taking very seriously, but they are taking it seriously. Complete new love. Complete new love. And you're going to feel amazing. Still hesitant, but amazing. And again, I'm not going to sit here and pass judgment. I'm going to see what the result is. I'm going to watch how this unfolds. And ultimately, it's going to make you feel very safe. All right. High-level advice and guidance for the year. Spirit and universe. What are the high-level advice and guidance messages for Scorpio's love life this year? What are the main advice and guidance messages for Scorpios this year? Okay. 10 of Cups, the Star, 5 of Swords. King of Swords is the bottom. So what does this mean in terms of advice and guidance? Part of the advice and guidance is to recognize that there is a major transformation coming and there is a major ending coming. Okay? You may have to be by yourself for a while you go through this healing process, but ultimately you will be ready to move forward quickly. Once the time is right, after this ending takes place with the World card. Your ships are coming in. So heal, focus on yourself, and be patient. Don't try to force anything. This King, well, really quick. The Death card, major transformation. You're going to go through a major transformation. And if you listen to that book, Psychopath Free, I think it's the last chapter, maybe second to last chapter, but he talks about how once you've gone through something of this magnitude emotionally, you never really are the same again. But it is a beautiful transformation because you're so much more aware of yourself and your boundaries are more high than they've ever been. And that turns into you getting real love because someone has to work really hard to break down that boundary. And I'm not talking about, you see people say, well, I don't want to date somebody that has trust issues. I shouldn't have to deal with all your past relationship issues. Yeah, that's true. There's a point there. There is. But at the same time, when your boundaries are up, people respect people that have their boundaries up. And so the love comes with a great deal of respect towards you because your boundaries are up. So no, you may not ever be the same person again. But those last two or the second to last or last chapter talk about how much better you are as a person because you have your boundaries set and because you know the red flags and you won't ever let that energy into your periphery again. Like it's just into your parameters. Like there's a barrier around you and you can call it out a mile away. So that's what this is talking about, the King of Swords. Okay, and it's kind of interesting how, one, he represents someone that's very strategic and mentally focused. So he's running off of his mind, not off his emotions, which is what you're going to be doing as you go through this. But also it's interesting how he is kind of barricaded in his own light. You see that? So this is you taking on this energy towards your love life. And it comes with this great transformation. It comes with your ships coming in. It comes with an ending that needed to end. It comes with you being self-satisfied with your life. Okay? And then being able to move forward. I'm not going to keep going deeper into the deck, but advice and guidance. Barriers. They're going to be up, and it's a beautiful thing. Advice, 10 of Cups, the Star, 5 of Swords. So what is this in terms of advice and guidance, Scorpios, for your love life? Do not ever give up faith and hope. This is the card of healing. Okay? You're going to be going through healing this year. But also, you're going to not give up on faith and hope in love. You still believe that it's real and that it can be out there. It doesn't have to be toxic. It doesn't have to be so intense for it to be love. It is how people treat you. It is how you treat yourself. All of it comes together. And that comes into feeling completely emotionally fulfilled here with the 10 of Cups. So this is beautiful advice. And when we talk about red flags and when we meet people and, you know, I said you can see those red flags a mile away now. Yeah, you're going to be. It's funny that he's wearing red, right? This is the card of one-upping, defense, mind games, sneaky behavior. Not like the 7 of Swords, but like someone's wanting to get revenge, really, or both are hurting each other, or one person's really not playing a fair game. So you're going to be very aware after you've gone through this healing process, and it is going to be really causing you to bring about complete emotional fulfillment. But your boundaries, they will be strong, and you'll stand strong in them. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right, Scorpios. So high level, let's just talk about it. High level, first half of the year, going to be wavy. Second half of the year, you're going to start really opening up again, and love is going to be coming towards you, and there's going to be major transformation on the horizon this year. So good. Beautiful. Just know, again, you can listen to those podcasts. What are they again? First, read the book, Psychopath Free. Listen to the podcast, Mental Health News Radio, and A Fine Time for Healing. There's also another podcast called Psychopath in Your Life, but I'm not that big of a fan of hers. And then there's also another podcast called Dirty John. If you haven't listened to that, it's talking about a complete narcissistic psychopath and what he did. Because there's different types, there's different levels. I can talk for 50 hours on cluster B personalities and these different levels. There's low functioning narcissists, there's mid-grade functioning narcissists, and there's high-grade functioning narcissists. And they all do different things and treat people differently that are close to them in their life. So I'm not going to get into all that. But there's another channel on YouTube called Knowing the Narcissist, and it's actually written by a narcissist himself. He talks about he comes from the perspective of the psychopath and from the narcissist and tells you kind of what they're doing and why they do it. It's very dark. It's very dark, but it's also very enlightening. And hold on. I know I'm going into this like way deeper than I really ever meant to. Hold on. I just spent the last 3 years learning this. And have thousands of hours of research into this topic because it's human behavior with respect to this is fascinating to me after going through it, and I'm sure you're there too. Another really very positive and uplifting and healing channel that I listen to on YouTube is called Thrive After Abuse, and she does a wonderful job of identifying the red flags, and some of them are ones you would never think. So, Thrive After Abuse. Okay, Scorpios. Again, like I said before in your other readings, I hope not everybody's going through this, but due to the overwhelming number of comments and readings that I got after doing your last 2 readings, there are many of you that are going through this. So I just wanted to get this out and spend a little time on it. If you're not, which I really hope you're not, then this is not for you, and we can do a private reading if you'd like. Okay, let's talk about general stuff. Because as we saw, right, as we saw, you're being impacted in all areas of your life. But, hold on, I'm going to pull these again for some overview energies for your general life and well-being. Spirit of the universe, what are the high-level messages for Scorpios with respect to all the other areas of their life, not including love? What are the general messages for 2018 for Scorpios in terms of finances, career, friends, family, spirituality, fitness, health? What are the general key messages for Scorpios for the year? Now again, don't be surprised if there's spillover, because it impacts. People lose their jobs. People lose their houses because they're so emotionally distraught. When they're going through this, it impacts every area. Like, I'm not kidding. They lose friendships. They will isolate for months. You know, and as you start listening to these podcasts and reading these books and things, I mean, it takes a lot of time, but you need to hear it, because it just makes you realize that other people are going through it too. Okay, other areas, Scorpios, good. This is finally coming to an end, all right? So yes, there could be spillover at the first part of the year into other areas of your life, but what do we have ultimately? 3 of Pentacles. Building, adding, developing. Okay, getting acknowledgement where acknowledgement is deserved. And you can do this to yourself by forcing yourself to do little daily things. Okay? And the 8 of Wands. Communication. Now, this is beautiful. This is such a beautiful card for you, Scorpios, because the 8 of Wands traditionally is what? The wands shooting through the air. Arrows of love. Cupid's arrows. Lots of communication back and forth. Fiery communication, because the wands are fire. So yes, however, look at how she is protecting her emotional. She's protecting herself. She's protecting herself with water. She is making sure that with all this beautiful communication coming in all other areas of life, Scorpios, her barriers are now up. She is now doing what she needs to do to protect her emotions. This is so key. This allows the ending. This allows the growth. Okay. Remember, vengeance comes on its own time. In its own time. And the thoughts that go through your mind that you want to do to get revenge, get even. Because if they're moving on into a new relationship and they're making sure you see it and they're making sure that you know, right? Don't let it get to you. Do not let it get to you. And you even feel urged to warn the next person. But just know that it's called the love bombing stage, and they're in the love bombing stage with this person or your ex or whoever this person is that we're talking about. They're in that love bombing stage, so you can warn them till the cows come home, and they're gonna laugh in your face. And there is in that book, Psychopath Free, there is a chapter on that. Specifically, a whole chapter dedicated to that. Okay. Spirit of the universe, what are the messages that you have for Scorpios in the first quarter of 2018 for all the other areas of their life besides love? The messages for Scorpios in 2018. Oops. Messages for Scorpios. First quarter 2018. First quarter. Remember, first quarter. Look at that. Remember when I was talking about the waves? Okay. First quarter. Waves. All right? Getting super motivated, being super excited. Money might be going well, or you might be wanting to. Part of that, forcing yourself to do your daily schedule, all that type of stuff. It's also you can have this stability, happiness. But it comes in waves. You're going to feel so motivated for 5 days, and then 2 days you won't even want to get out of bed. Okay? Just know. But this is the goal. This is good. You're in the right mindset in terms of what you're trying to do, and you're trying to like force yourself out of it. So again, if you're not in that space, if you're not in that relationship space, Scorpios, and now we're just talking to you, you could just like first quarter, you might be really hitting the nail on the head first quarter. Like you could have a really kick-ass first quarter with money-wise. But I come back to these waves because not fully ready for love, not focusing on it, okay, feeling like you don't have energy, and also Wheel of Fortune reverse, feeling like things aren't going in your favor. So stressing out a little bit. But then what do we have? We have assistance, we have offers, warm, friendly communication. We have you feeling like you're going to be moving out of that space because you're going to be focusing on these goals. And then we have this, the Page of Swords. And this is very interesting based on everything I just talked about. This doesn't have to mean stalking and spying. It can. Psychopaths and narcs, they do stalk, they do spy. But one of the key things with emotional abuse victims is the victim actually ends up stalking and spying. Because it's like, how could we have such a perfect, beautiful relationship where we talked about children and family and travels and all this future faking? Remember, it's called future faking. This beautiful thing, and then all of a sudden you can just, it's called love bombing, and then they degrade you, and then they discard you. So after the discard happens, after the gaslighting and the confusion, that's where the fog comes in, that's when you don't know yourself anymore, then you have the discard. Once the discard happens, it's like, wait, didn't you have those feelings? And do I really mean nothing to you? Because they really want you to feel like that you meant nothing to them. And so a lot of times the abuse victims will actually end up being the ones watching. So yes, that can mean that. However, it doesn't have to be. Based on everything we just talked about, all this learning that you're going to be doing and working through and learning about these red flags and learning about the healing, this could very much be assisting in you letting this go. Moving out of this anxiety, moving out of this depression, because you're learning and learning how to apply. This card, again, doesn't have to mean stalking and spying. It can most definitely, on a higher level, it means watching, learning, gathering information so you can use it to move in a direction you want to go in. Back to the waves. Don't feel like working now. Wanting love. Maybe wanting this person to come back. Wanting to feel emotionally fulfilled in some level. Wanting the new passion to spark your interest. Being frustrated, though, because you're trying to move forward and you're feeling like things aren't going in your favor. So kind of shutting down to love through the first quarter. And I know this isn't a love reading, but if love offers are coming, this is you also saying, no, I'm doing my thing. Like, you can talk to me. We can be friends. We can go have drinks or whatever. Okay, we can go to do stuff together. We can go on a hike, whatever. But I'm not in a place to be accepting anything. I want to be, but I have other things I need to focus on, and it's hard enough for me to focus on these right now. So you're just going to have to bear with me. Okay, those are the types of things you're going to be saying to this person. Okay. Second quarter, Scorpios. Everything without love, except for love, I mean. Spirit and Universe, what are the messages, advice, and guidance for Scorpios for the second quarter of 2018 in all areas except love? So yeah, I can see here in this first quarter, there's definitely awareness, there's definitely learning and working through healing and really trying to focus on getting ready, but also recognizing that you're not yet. But that's the goal. And that's the right goal to have in mind. Okay. Second quarter, Scorpios. Second quarter for Scorpios. Knight of Swords. Okay, the Hanged Man reversed. So second quarter, you're going to start feeling antsy. And it's because during the first quarter, you had these waves, excited about work, excited about friends, excited about fitness, and then also not excited about any of that. So second quarter, you're like, I'm sick of having these vacillating emotions. I'm going to start maybe trying to force. I'm not going to wait around till I feel good. I'm going to actually start trying to force. Okay, but keep in mind, it doesn't just come just because you say it. You really have to force it. This is somebody that feels out of control, but wants to be in control. So you're definitely taking on that energy. I want to be in control of this, of my life, of the direction of my life, but I kind of I don't really have the energy all the time, but I want to get there. So first, okay, second quarter, the first month of the second quarter, again, shutting emotions off, focusing on what you're doing, only focusing on what you're doing. Don't let all these other distractions come in. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying you're not going to. And therein lies the victory. Self-preservation, building confidence, building self-esteem, feeling good about what you're doing, but you've got to hone in on that. And again, moment by moment. Take this moment by moment. You're not going to be sitting here thinking, oh, this is my past. Oh, this is my future. This is where I am now. What am I doing? You're not even focusing on anything else except for at that moment what you're doing. Making a list of everything you need to do each day and forcing yourself to do it and staying in that moment while you're doing it. You're trying to force yourself out of this past analysis and future analysis and fantasy dreamland. You're being a realist here, and that is a beautiful thing. You know you're needing to cut off your emotions right now and focus on what you're doing, and that is a beautiful thing. Then all of a sudden we have all this friendliness come in with the Page of Wands. So this could be love communication starting to come in. Could be from a fire sign. But you're also recognizing that I'm focusing on work. Now, if this isn't a love message, because we're trying to focus on not love right now, but Page of Wands. So this is also could be you taking on the energy or somebody coming to you being like, hey, let's go do this. Let's go do this. Or a new project at work, or getting very active in your physical fitness. So Page of Wands, getting involved, communicating about getting involved. Okay, being very present. Being very present. Okay, keeping defenses down. Don't come into moments and experiences with expectations and fear. Go into them and experience them. Okay? There's still work to do. There's still building to do. You're still trying to get back up on top of where you were before. You're not done yet in the second quarter. This mirrors the love reading. You're not done yet, but you're getting there. You're starting to really feel like you're building again, and it feels good. You're going to be hyper aware if somebody is stalking you, or if you're stalking somebody. Okay, you're going to be hyper aware of potential manipulation, red flags, hyper aware. They could be trying to come back again. We have this Knight of Swords. Again, we have this. So you're going to be very hyper aware, which is a good thing. It causes you to build your barriers. Okay, your defenses are down in these moments. You're looking for this. You're not looking for this. Knight of Cups. You're looking for real offers of love, real emotions, not manufactured rage and stress of somebody coming in. I need you. I love you. I can't live without you. This is the narc saying this, stressing out that you're moving on. It's part of this. Okay. What? You're not feeding their ego anymore? You're not fuel? Food is what they call it. You're not food for their ego anymore, so they have to come back and get it, try to keep you back in their life, even though they're probably dating other people. Okay. They're lying to all of them, no matter what it looks like. Other people are going through the same thing you went through. These cycles, they don't change. And when you go in through round 4, round 5, round 6, round 7 with these people, it's the same thing. The cycle just gets shortened. This is them love bombing. Then you're going to get gaslighted and devalued and discarded in a shorter time frame. Each cycle of the relationship gets shorter and shorter and shorter. The gaslighting gets stronger, the devaluing gets stronger, and the discard gets more severe. And it hurts more each time. Do not let yourself go through that again. I swear to God, it's not worth it. That's what's happening here. They're sensing that you're feeling good. They're sensing that you're feeling positive. You're living in the moment. It all comes back to that, like I always talk about, that frequency you're vibrating on. Keep it vibrating within yourself. Don't push it out to other people. Keep it in. Once you do that, it creates a vacuum effect. So that's what you're doing here. And they sense it. So what do? They come back. But they're not really coming back. Okay? You want real offers of love. Not, I need attention offers of love. No matter what they say. It is not well thought out and does not come from a sincere place. Third quarter. I'm going to use a different deck. Third quarter. Spirit of the universe, what are the messages and advice and guidance for Scorpio's third quarter in areas other than love? So again, I know I always do this when I'm shuffling, but back to the second quarter. You're really focusing on yourself. You're focusing on living in the moment. You're focusing on building for you. You're hyper aware of things that could be coming out of nowhere from this person. Again, like we saw in the last spread though, getting ready for real offers of love. Defenses are down a little bit, which is good. And you started this all off in the right mindset with the right goal. So that's good. And you're starting to get ready to take action. Third quarter. Third quarter. There's the Seven of Pentacles again. Okay, so third quarter, still building for you. There's still work that needs to be done. Six of Pentacles though. Where did we see this? Oh, it was in the love one. It was in the love spread. But reciprocity, okay? The name of the game in the third quarter. When this person comes in, your barriers are high. You don't have to let your barriers down for them. Not yet. Make sure you know that it's coming from equal ground. You're a Scorpio, you're a water sign. You will feel it. You will know. But make sure you know. Okay? Because you don't ever want to get back here where somebody walks away from something that was so important and leaves you feeling anxious and depressed. I'm sensing that that's going to be still impacting other areas of your life. Okay, so just be aware. Be aware. There is new passion coming. Now this, since we're talking about other areas than love, you could find a new hobby or a new set of friends or adding to your set of friends. Okay, you're going to be meeting new people and you're going to be having a lot of new experience. And it comes back to that second quarter where I was talking about living in the moment. That's going to offer you a lot of growth and happiness and spiritual development. You're going to feel really good. So that's going to spill over into work and fitness and health and just overall, emotional and physical well-being. So you're going to have this new passion. You're going to be focusing on work. Okay. And then we also underneath here have the Two of Coins. So this also means being very busy. So juggling a lot. So you're going to be, again, back to living in the moment. You're going to be, there's still hyper awareness of that this could happen. So if someone's trying to come in, you're making sure that they're going to allow you to do everything that you need to do. So you don't have to drop things just to spend time with them, or they're not forcing you to do this or forcing you to do that. It's coming from a very equal ground. And then you're going to have new passions in work, life, okay? New beginnings. So you're going to feel free. In the third quarter, you're going, in all the other areas of your life besides love, you're going to feel free. And that is going to make you feel very ready to start thinking about letting real love in. You're going to feel wonderful. Judgment, you're going to know. It's going to be, I'm trying to tell what this picture is because I really can't tell. But there's a flame and there's a person here and he's kind of covered with like a saran wrap type of thing right here. And then there's this angel or this external being. So it's like you're going to be called out of this. Like you're going to have the answers that you need and you're going to know it too. Here we have the Tower, High Priestess, Judgment, end of third quarter. Very impactful. We also have the Fool here. So you're going to really know. So if this person's trying to come back and impact your life, you know, a lot of times they'll call your job and try to get you fired or try to get your whole family turned against you. It's called flying monkeys. And they will really try to damage your reputation. So there could be a little fear of that. There could be a little bit about what this is. But you're going to know what's going on. And Judgment's going to work out in your favor. So it's all leading to this ending and it's all leading to this new beginning. But you're going to be your intuition's going to be on high. Okay, remember I said hypersensitive to all these red flags? You're going to be very hypervigilant about all of this. Allow yourself to be hypervigilant because it's keeping your barriers up and building new ones. So when this Tower moment comes, you're prepared. I'm going to clarify this Tower. When the Tower moment comes, you're very prepared and it won't impact you like it normally would. This could be them trying to come back in, okay, mess stuff up. But you're not going to be worried about it too much. Okay. You're going to be prepared. You know it's coming anyway. They always come back. You could not talk to a narc for 6 years and they'll ping you and try to get something started again. Because they need that fuel. Please clarify the Tower card for Scorpios. Please clarify the Tower card for Scorpios. Why is this Tower card here? The Moon. Yeah, you're hyper vigilant and very keenly aware that there is definitely some hidden information. You're in tune with that. You're very in tune with that. Please clarify this Judgment card for Scorpios. Well, that was it. Knight of Swords. Da-da-da. Yep. They're going to try to come right back in and mess stuff up. Don't let it happen. Okay. Fourth quarter, Scorpios. I'm trying to make this not about love. But when you're going through this, it can be all-consuming. I'm aware. And I don't blame you for feeling like that. Fourth quarter, what are the messages and advice and guidance for Scorpios in the fourth quarter with respect to other areas of their life except for love? You just keep coming back to this, like you're trying to make other areas of your life not about emotional reacting. And so that's a really good baseline, right? Just like the Five of Wands. Right? Like you're really trying to move past this and build something stable and whole. Or not Five of Wands, Eight of Wands. And so you really are protecting your emotions. But that facilitates in this growth and development. It's beautiful. He's trying to come out, look at even the, what is that called? The Sith? I should know. But all of these things are facing this way. So he or she's trying to like impact it. Trying to impact it with the Knight of Swords. Trying to impact it with the Knight of Swords. With secrets, with Tower moments. You're not going to let it. Fourth quarter for Scorpios. Hanged Man upright. The World again. The Empress again. The Devil again. The Two of Cups again. Four of Coins. So you're going to go through the fourth quarter, go into the fourth quarter, especially after this. If this is happening and they're trying to, like, they're trying, right? And it's funny because it's like it's all you want, but then there's new people involved, but it doesn't feel like such a chemical connection. It doesn't feel so intense. So then you kind of psych yourself out and you feel like that's not real. But remember, your perception is off of what reality is and what reality isn't. And you have to get back to that baseline where you can trust your gut again. So there may be excitement about them coming back, trying to come back. Okay, trying to figure out what's hidden. There may be excitement about them getting what they deserve. But it's not, like, keep in mind, that's off kilter. That awareness mechanism that we have, your intuition, it gets pushed to the side a little bit, and we can react, we get confused about what love is and what being treated well is. We get very confused about that. And so stay hypervigilant, keep your barriers up, protect your emotions. Because these cycles, they will not change and they will hurt more and more. Okay, so that's what this is. Response to, okay, shutting down, not letting them impact. This is beautiful. This card is the Fountain card. It's an additional card in this deck, which is called the Fountain Tarot. And this card means timeless, endless, limitless beauty. Like you trusting in the fact that we are all part of something that is ever expanding, ever growing, ever developing. So it kind of puts perspective on these trials that we put ourselves through, or things that happen to us, and they're so earth-shattering, and they can also be so beautiful at the same time. But this puts perspective on the fact that we are part of something much bigger, much bigger. And it is learning to accept that and be thankful and grateful that we can go through this journey. And that we have control. We don't have to succumb to our emotions all the time. We don't have to succumb to wanting to get vengeance and revenge. We don't have to... This is somebody who's not in control of their emotions or head. Okay? This is a dangerous type of energy. So we don't have to react to our own feelings like this. They can, but we don't have to. That's why this card is so beautiful. It kind of gives you this perspective of how much control we do have, and then also how much control we don't have. And then we have the Three of Coins. So building, 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 building. Okay. Fourth quarter. Hanged Man, Devil, Hermit. Yes, if this person's trying some nonsense and you're trying to allow new love to come in, but it doesn't feel as fulfilling, I would like to suggest not to trust that feeling, because it just doesn't feel as intense. It doesn't mean it's not real. It doesn't mean they don't really care about you. It just doesn't feel as intense. And frankly, that might be a good thing. So you're waiting and you're waiting. Your barriers are still up. This person's still trying to come back in. Maybe both of them, maybe multiple. The narc's trying to come back in, but you're just waiting. You're being very aware that this could be an unhealthy attachment. And so in response to that, based on their actions in the third quarter, you're going into hermit mode, at least with respect to them, and you're going to be reviewing everything you've learned. Look at this. In hermit mode, oh my goodness. While you're in hermit mode, okay, you're reviewing and remembering all of the anxiety. You can get extreme social anxiety when you go through this. So all the depression and anxiety and sleepless nights. You're going to be remembering that they put you through this and that they didn't show that they cared. Remember that. You're going to remember the victories that you brought about yourself in the second quarter. You're going to remember during this hermit mode that it probably wasn't real love. And as much as you wanted it to be, it wasn't. And you're going to be very aware. He's shining this light right on this devil. So you're going to be very aware that someone just flat out devalued you, gaslighted you, walked away after all of these emotional cups were filled. You guys were almost to a 10, but nope, it's so perfect and now you're just so worthless, I'm just going to walk away. That's how they treat you. And you were wrong and you don't know what you're talking about and you confuse me, you hurt me. They play the victim and they walk away. So you're going to be recognizing how unhealthy of an attachment that is. Okay, then we have this ending again, the World card. Here's the ending. Here's the new beginning, the Empress, Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles. Stability, money, working towards something that's tangible, that can be real, that can be built, not based off of all of this crap. Something real. Something ends, so something new and real. 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 Pentacle real. Tangible real. Can be, that's where you're going to start putting your energy. Internal battles, and again, the new one, you're not going to feel as intense for them. But watch, take it slow and watch how they treat you. Because your barriers are up, that they're going to respect you so much. Okay? That they're going to basically, at least this is how it was for me. I mean, with the new one, because my barriers were so up. I mean, he respected me so much that he basically did everything I wanted the other one to do. But it didn't impact me because it wasn't so intense. The connection wasn't so intense. But I started looking, I'm like, no, he really, really, really cares about me and loves me. And then it's like, then you start letting your guard down slowly. Then you start letting him in. So you're still going to have that internal battle of what's real, what's not. But then here we have the Two of Cups. And then you're going to have this release and this surrendering your soul to the universe to allow this person to come in. If you look, these people, they're kind of transparent and their souls are kind of uniting as they lift their cups up together towards the universe. Real offers of love, real communication about something that's real. 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 Fourth quarter. High level words about fourth quarter. You're going to be aware of what is real and what is not real. And you have a real offer on the table. And you also have a real ending on the table. As long as you can separate the two. You're not going to be fully ready going into fourth quarter to fully let it go, but you will. You're going to have this moment where you're realizing that this is just not real. This is just total bullshit. This is what's real. This is what you're moving towards. Please clarify the Page of Coins. Please clarify the Page of Pentacles for Scorpios in the fourth quarter. Seven of Cups, okay? Options. You're going to still be a little confused, but this is real. So really, with your barriers being up, your emotions being guarded, okay, after spending time and developing, oh my gosh, it just keeps getting better. Oh. Hold on. I'm going to go through all these. This is so beautiful. Okay, I'm done after this. No, I'm done after this. Oh my gosh, I'm done after this one. Ah! Okay. That was ridiculous. This is ridiculous how many I just pulled. I'm going to go through these quickly. Okay. You're going to be a little confused still about the options and what's real and what's not. But you're going to be very keenly aware of the difference. It's just not going to feel as glorious. But you have to tell yourself that it is. And you really are going to watch the difference between the two because there's a huge, huge difference between the two. So you're going to have to really look at the real signs. Okay. And in doing that, Not coming from a place of emotion, but coming from a place of a stable head. Look at the real long-term pathway of this. Okay, and strategize with that internally. Because it is something that is very stable. This is the Hierophant. It is something that can grow. They want it to. The Lovers. You will get the clarity that you're seeking. You won't be confused about this second person, this new person. You will get the clarity. All signs point to yes. After you've gone through a place of kind of rebirth and restructuring yourself so you're happy with yourself and who you are. That is where you're going to feel victorious with the Six of Wands. And justice will be served without you actually serving it. This is real happiness for you. Ten of Pentacles. Okay, something that's real and stable. There's real happiness here. Okay? Oh my goodness. Scorpios. Which deck do I want to use? Maybe I'll just use this deck. No, I'm going to use this deck. All right, advice and guidance. High-level advice and guidance for Scorpios. For other areas of life. And I know that this second whole phase wasn't supposed to be about love, but it's all intertwined, especially for you right now. So it ended up being that. High-level advice and guidance for Scorpios in all the other areas of their life besides love. High-level advice and guidance for 2018 in terms of friendships, family, health, finances, fitness, healing, spiritual healing. Advice and guidance. Advice and guidance. Keeps telling me to shuffle. I'm sorry. Advice and guidance. This is it. Okay. Advice and guidance. I'm starting here with the Nine of Wands reversed. There will be moments where you really don't feel like you have any fight left in you. But in terms of advice and guidance, you do. Don't succumb to that thought process. Pulling yourself out of isolation is going to be key. You will need to go into it in moments. But just be aware. Tell yourself, I might be isolating myself a little bit too much. Force yourself to go out with friends. Force yourself to go to the gym. Force yourself to do stuff. So isolation is not the key. It's part of the healing process. It's part of moving forward in all these other areas of your life. But you can't stay here. That's why this is advice. King of Pentacles reverse. This is advice too. You will have moments where you feel like you want to just get up at 5 a.m., go jogging, be at the office by 6:30, highly caffeinated, work till 7, like get on top of your A game in a month. It takes more time than that. So don't get upset when it doesn't turn around overnight. It takes a long time and it takes a lot of diligence and consistency. So be very aware that you will have these moments where you feel like you can just turn it around all at once. Okay? Get in shape faster, eat healthier faster, make more money faster, get a better job faster. Okay? Don't set yourself up for that. Bring people in. It helps you keep perspective. You do have fight. Don't succumb to the energy that you don't. Just recognize that you're not going to go into King of Pentacles mode overnight. It takes time. That's basically the most key message about advice and guidance. You're still going to be going through healing and it will still impact other areas of your life. Okay, as time progresses, you will have more and more options in how you deal with it and the freedom that you allow yourself to have. But initially, it will impact other areas of your life. Please clarify the King of Pentacles for Scorpios. Whoa. Please clarify the King of Pentacles. Queen of Cups. Okay? She likes to get revenge. Okay? She can be very manipulative and vengeful. So with this clarifying the King of Pentacles, keep your eye on the prize of what you're trying to do for you. Don't let other energies, other thoughts, especially when you're isolating yourself, don't let those spinning thoughts force you to focus on the emotional stuff in terms of getting revenge. Don't put yourself down that rabbit hole. Focus on what you can actually build in real life that's tangible. Just know it's not going to come overnight, okay? All right, Scorpios. I'm so glad I finally got that out. I've been really meaning to get yours out because of the last 2 readings. So lots of healing this year, lots of self-awareness, lots of new love that's real, that's going to be confusing for you. So be very settled in your own thoughts and be very content with yourself before moving forward. Keep those boundaries up. You'll be respected for them, trust me. It's a good thing. Doesn't feel like it, but it's a good thing. And just let bygones be bygones, and just let this take care of itself on its own. They're not going in, like, they're going to be trying to come back, but it's not your place to show them anything. Okay, just work on being happy yourself, and work on getting into a new relationship yourself. Work on getting everything else done yourself. Okay? Now, again, this is for a very specific group of Scorpios I felt the need to do based on the last 2 readings that I've done for them. And I've had so many private readings about this. So if you're not in that group of Scorpios and your love life is fine, then this is not the message for you. Okay? And you can order a private reading like this, an annual overview, on my website if you're interested. And thank you so much. I love you, Scorpios. Welcome to 2018. And I really, really, really want the best for you, okay? All right. Bye.